Da-da! Welcome. So today I want to answer a question that has come back over and over again. People have asked me, why was certain knowledge hidden? Why was it hidden from people? Why is it not freely available, readily available for everyone to know and to seek? So the first reason why that kind of knowledge, anything that has to do with mysticism, occultism, energy work, all the different things, the reason why it's hidden, first of all, is to really appeal only to those who actually seek the knowledge. So the first step is that you're not going to necessarily come across it. You're going to have to search for it to find it. You're going to have something in you that's going to call you towards that in order for you to find it. So that's the first step, is have to ensure that when you're coming to that knowledge, it's most of the time it's people who are passionate about it, who have some type of inclination, who are curious about it at the very least. And then second, the reason even why there's certain knowledge that's not being shared or that's not really available, I will tell you that most of the stuff that you're going to find on YouTube is not like the most potent things, honestly. Even if you go and you find the YouTubers that actually have a lot of wealth of knowledge and who actually know things that work, they are not going to divulge that on YouTube. People who are starting are the one, most people who have YouTube channel and stuff like that, they are starting, so they are sharing a few things here and there, but the stuff that are really potent, you're not going to find it on YouTube, because most practitioners, when they have something that's very potent that works within a matter of seconds, right, by doing or saying things, they're not going to put it online like that, simply because there's a lot of irresponsible people that are out there that could use it and misuse it and abuse it. That's why. And sometimes it's not only because they could do harm to other people, but it's also because they could do harm to themselves, with certain type of knowledge. This is why sometimes when you have initiation, whoever's initiating you or whoever teacher you go to acquire knowledge from, they will tell you will want to experiment certain things, and then they will tell you no, that you're not ready yet, that you still have things to learn, and that can be very frustrating. I have to say that I even myself, I have times, a moment when I was learning with other people, from other people, and I wanted to get to the next level because I thought I mastered the level we're at, and no, I had to wait. They have to make me wait, and that's, I think, the one thing, when you go to learn from someone else, you really have to learn the things the way they're teaching you. So I've talked a lot about how I never do exactly how I am being taught, no matter what. I always do it my own kind of way. I always follow my intuition no matter what I'm doing. Now what I'm talking about is like, however, when I'm learning from somebody, I'm going to learn, I'm going to be open to learn. So I'm going to learn the way they do things. I'm going to try to understand why they're doing things that way and not a different way. And so that is going to enable me to understand the principle behind what they're doing. So that when it comes time for me to tweak it, I actually know what I'm doing. I'm not just like winking it, So it's very important that when you even come across certain type of knowledge, that you take it with a grain of salt. You also take it with the responsibility that comes with it. The same way you don't run out your mouth with everything that you're doing. You don't do that because you're going to be exposing yourself. You're going to be exposing a lot of your own magic, and you're going to devalue it by exposing it to the light or exposing it to everybody. If everybody knows what you're doing, then there's no part of the potency is going to be gone. It's like, in order for you to do something when you have a goal, you first have to have it in your mind. And no one else has access to that in your mind. It is in the darkness, it's in a quiet space, in a space that's crucial to you. So it is kind of the same way. And it has so much more power so long as it is in your own mind, because that is what is going to enable you to bring it to life. So there are many factors why certain knowledge are being hidden. Certain people who come across certain knowledge, they're not going to give it to people they deem unworthy. So we do have a lot of elders who have a tremendous amount of knowledge, especially if you go to, when we're talking about African culture, African spirituality, there are a lot of elders that have a lot of knowledge. And for them, they have to choose the person that they deem worth it. to receive that knowledge. It's the same way when you have an African totem, or when you have any kind of relationship that you've built up with certain spirits, certain entities around you, and that you want to pass on. You want to make sure that the person you're passing on this information to is going to be able to not only take care of that knowledge, maintain it, but add on to it. So it's not just to be a good student. You have to really apply yourself. You have to strive to surpass your master. It's that type of dedication that most of the time they're looking for. They're not looking for somebody who just want a quick fix, somebody who's just want to get rich quick scheme kind of thing like that, somebody who doesn't understand the symbiotic relationship and respect that has to be, respect and connection that has to exist with nature as you're applying all the different principles. And so it is, to a certain latitude, a matter of selection, a matter of the elder seeing in you the qualities that he's looking for or she's looking for. And then interesting that you will actually carry on the legacy, carrying on that over that. I mean, it's much more easier when you're talking about knowledge being passed on from one generation to another, when you receive knowledge from your grandmother or your great-grandmother, because then you have the additional factor of the lineage, of the blood, to ensure that, you know, no matter what, the information is here, is within you. It may be activated or deactivated. But it's something that's very important, that you have to look at any type of knowledge that you come across as knowledge that has been, that people strive to bring that to you. Whether it is by meeting somebody who's a practitioner, who does whether it's hoodoo, voodoo, hermeticism, you name it, whatever system of belief that they participate in, they have knowledge and experience with. If they want to share, if they're going to share that with you, you have to hold that knowledge sacred. And this goes back to a lot of people. I've seen some of the comments on other YouTubers' channel about YouTubers who offer classes and offer different things, offer different type of services, and people would just think like that knowledge needs to be given out for free. The reason why I will say, first of all, that most of the knowledge that's for free is things that if you put the time you research, you know, maybe within 2 years you'll get the knowledge you're seeking and the experience on the basic stuff. When you're just beginning and you put, you know, you do it like, you put in all your free time, you can really, you know, you can be amazed on the amount of experience and knowledge that you can get in a year or two. Now, the caveat to that is that, you know, you may find things that don't work, that don't work for you. You may find a lot of spells and a lot of crap. Sorry, a lot of spells, and all of the spells don't necessarily going to work for you. Just like I said for food, it's like there are a lot of different variety of food, vegan food or not, or whatever, but not all of it is going to be conducive to your own body. And this is why you have to kind of peel the banana and find out, you know, what works and what doesn't work for you, what you're going to take and leave the rest to someone else. And so when you have people that have already done that type of discernment and experimentation, not for a couple of years, not for 5-10 years, but like 15-20 years, or for the entirety of their life. So those people have a wealth of knowledge that you don't possess right now. And if that person was to tell you, okay, in order to get where I am, you need to go buy this book, that book, take this class with this person, that class with that other person, then you need to go to China, then you need to go to Japan to do this, you need to go do this in Africa, you need to go do and that, you're going to see that as they tell you all of what they've done on their path, it may come to thousands of dollars that you don't currently have. And so if they're giving you a few pointers, free pointers in videos or information, exchanging with you, answering some of the basic stuff, you know, that's already their way of giving back. But you have to understand that certain knowledge is just not going to be on YouTube. And you know, sometimes people say, what is the saying? They say, free advice is worth just what you paid for it. Sometimes they say that because nothing is really is ever free. It's always being paid. You're going to pay it one way or another. Sometimes you take something that's free, you experiment with it, it backfires on you, it doesn't work, and then that's your payment. The energy that you spend trying that out, and however you paid it for. So, I don't think you have to look at it in a way that this thing is being hidden, because most of the time, and at least my perspective, when I teach or when I work with clients, I always tell them that you have all the answers. Everything else, anyone else around there can give you pointers. That's at best. That's it. But everything is within you. And most of the time when we're working and we're learning about different things, people will just like, oh, I've always known this. And this is what I love, because a lot of the comments on certain videos, people are saying, oh, you know, you just confirmed something I already had a hunch on, something my intuition was already telling me. And that's the entire point. To me, the point is not for you to go and idolize somebody else, to get somebody to become your guru and follow every word they're saying. No. If you notice, even on my channel, some of the video, not all the video are for everyone. I think there's a small portion of people who will watch all of the videos. Some people will come into the channel just to watch the self-love series. Other people are coming for the mundane craft and magic. Other people come here for the African spirituality aspect of things. Other people are coming just to have bits and pieces on dream work, or on natural hair, or just on random things that I talk about sometime on the channel. So I understand that not everyone is going to be attracted to all of that. Maybe some people will watch other things if they don't have anything else, they're bored, there's nothing else. Maybe the other YouTubers they subscribe to don't produce anything, and there's nothing on TV, no movies to rent, or Netflix is not that great. So that's what you have to go when you're going to watch somebody or learn from somebody. Yes, you paid for a class, you get into a class, you get all the material, all of the knowledge, and then you still have to do the work. You still have to decipher how to tweak it to make it work for you, how to tweak it so the information fully, completely resonate with you to the level that you understand. And as you understand that, as you go through that process of letting the information sink in, experimenting with the information, remembering instances in your own life where this may have applied, where you may have done this without even knowing that it was that. That's going to be like your ha-ha moment, when you just like, okay, this stuff, you realize that all of this stuff is nothing like extraordinary. Because you are extraordinary. That's where all the power lies. All of us here, we learn about the different things, how to manipulate water, how to play with air and fire, all the different elements, with metals, with the moon energy, any type of different energy, dense, lesser dense, all the different things. But it's just what piques your interest and how much time you invest in that. And we can all develop any abilities we want. This is, I think, one of the most hidden secrets. It's like when you go and you see somebody who's further advanced on the path that you would like to take. Some people will make it seem as though there's something special. Oh, you know, I have this psychic power, or I have these different things. But you always have to remember that we all have the ability to get that. We all have the ability to develop certain powers. Just by the simple reason that we are humans, that you are human. And to underline that, yes, some of us come here with certain powers already activated. We may have certain abilities already very strong, very intuitively encrusted in us. And you have to find out what abilities that you have that are already activated. And we all have some abilities that are already activated. Some of us is with producing art. Others is it with discernment in terms of certain people's personality. Others is it because being able to be not financially knowledgeable, but financially savvy, being able to spot a great deal wherever. All of us have these gifts that are already activated. And I think sometimes when you too focus on other people's gifts and thinking like you don't have any, you need to recenter yourself. You need to go back to within, and you need to explore your own self to know what are your abilities. And once you've assessed what you can actually do, once you trust yourself on those abilities, then you can use these abilities to expand on other things, or you can just expand on other things that you would like to acquire. And I think if you go on YouTube, the beauty of YouTube is that there's a lot of people that have invested and have shared their own experience, that are sharing their own experiences here. One of the things that I've watched for a few years now are people who are really into what is it called? Kinesiotherapy, telekinesis. Telekinesis, there we go. The ability to move things with your own mind. And I don't remember the channel, but if I find it, I will link it below, or if I find the video, I'll link it below, of this guy who basically spent, I think, like 2 or 3 years practicing trying to turn one page with the power of his mind. And you can, when you look at the beginning where he's unable to do anything, and then you look, you know, toward the middle and where he's able to turn one small page of a small book, and then at the end when he's able to turn a big page on a big book. You know, for some people it'll be like, oh, it's just to do the page, but I think that's where it starts. And I think the whole point of me even talking about this is to show that this guy applied himself. He puts his energy to develop a certain ability. And from my belief is that if you want to become a medium, if you want to have some, you know, you want to do channeling or anything like that, those are all things that are at your reach that you can do. And if you're already inclined or thinking about that, that means there's already something in you that resonates with that. I'm not placing anything into your mind. If you're not interested, you're not going to be interested, period. You may watch videos because you're curious. That's not the same thing. When you're interested, that means it keeps coming back. You keep thinking about it. You keep seeing that around. People are talking about it around you. You're not actively necessarily seeking that. It comes to you all the time. It comes to you because of vibration. You are vibrating at the same level at that, with that thing. Whether it is reading cards, being a medium, whatever abilities that you are subconsciously seeking for whatever reason. So I do believe that we can all develop those abilities, and it all depends on how much effort we put into that. But I do also think that there are certain knowledge that need to be hidden and that are not meant to be shared with everyone. Just like there are certain dreams that you may have that you're not supposed to be sharing with anyone. Or, you know, besides a close number of people who are really close to you. But there are certain things that have to stay hidden in order to retain their powers, hidden in order to really affect you or be of benefit to you. So don't run towards everything that's lightly exposed, you know. As I say, sometimes the trap is most of the time in plain sight, but nobody sees it. So hidden knowledge, there's many reasons, a variety of reasons why knowledge was hidden, and it continues to be hidden because not all of it is going to be revealed. And I know a lot of people are doing this propaganda with the Aquarian age and, you know, information age. Yes, certain information is becoming much more available than it was before. But don't be fooled. Not all of it is going to be pouring out on YouTube or the internet. Matter of fact, even sometimes on the internet you will find things that are completely contradictory, so that you have to make the effort of discernment of finding, you know, exactly what it is and how it applies to you. So you can have somebody who's doing workings, who's doing this and that, and they can share their way of doing a working. But it doesn't mean it's going to be your way. It doesn't mean it's going to work for you or to work for you with the same intensity. And this is why you have to make it your own. You have to find your own path, your own way of doing things to ensure that things you're doing are going to work for you. So I hope this answers your question, and I hope that as you grow, you too will realize that even when you have a child, you're not pouring and telling them how to run when they can barely crawl. They hurt themselves. They may hurt somebody else too. So certain things you just have to wait, and it will come to you. If you continue to seek, I am a true believer that when you continue to seek, information will start seeking you. The information you need, you'll come across it. And that's why I also love when people tell me that I'm reminding them, because that's really what it is. I am not giving you some fresh new information that has never been found, experimented on this planet. All of this, most of the information, there is very few new, less propagated information, I'll say. But all what I'm doing is juggling down your memory on certain things, reminding you on certain things. And believe me, we're going to go deeper and deeper, and we're we're going to really get to a lot of things, because it's not just remembering what we already know. It's also applying it and getting our life to move forward. And we'll get to that part as well. We're going to do a lot of that as well. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next video.